This is a case of laparoscopic ovarian transposition. She is a young lady of 32 years, diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma of the cervix, stage 2B. So the patient is planned for combined chemoradiation. As because she is young, we have planned to preserve her ovarian function. So that's why we are doing the laparoscopic ovarian transposition. As in the CTRT, the field of CTRT, the ovarian function usually get destroyed. So the plan is to keep the ovaries out of the field of the radiation so that ovarian function can be preserved. So in this case, I am holding the ovarian pedicle, that's the infundibulopelvic ligament, with my left hand, and with my right hand bipolar shearer I am making a window in the posterior leaf of the broad ligament. With bit by bit dissection, we are opening the posterior leaf of the broad ligament. The main trick here, it has to be an avascular dissection, so we are going very slow with bit by bit dissection, as because any bleeding here, it can jeopardize the ovarian function. That's our ureter. So gentle traction of the ovarian ligament, of the infundibulopelvic ligament on the left hand, and with the right hand we are doing the dissection. Now we are separating the tube from the ovary. We are using here ligature device to separate the tube from the ovaries. We have to make sure that we should preserve the blood supply of the infundibulopelvic ligament. We are separating the ovarian ligament from the uterus so that all the infundibulopelvic ligament will be free. So the basis of transposition is that we have to transpose the ovaries out of the field of the radiation, that is above the pelvic brim. So our ureter crosses the external iliac vessel at the level of the pelvic brim. So we have to fix the ovaries above the pelvic brim. It can be fixed in multiple sites. In this case, we are fixing it with the lateral parietal peritoneum. Here we are separating our ovarian ligament from the uterus. You can clearly identify the ovarian ligament now separated, but we have to make sure that we will preserve the infundibulopelvic ligament. With bit by bit dissection, we are dissecting the posterior leaf of the broad ligament, keeping the ovarian supply intact. This is also called lengthening of the IP pedicle. This pedicle has to be lengthened enough so that the transposition can be done above the level of the pelvic brim. One should keep a gentle traction on the infundibulopelvic ligament, otherwise it can bleed and all the purpose of the OT will be hampered. You have to go till the point ureter crosses over the external iliac vessel so that the lengthening will be very good. You can identify clearly now our ureter. So in this case we are going very slow so that there will be any bleeding from the infundibulopelvic pedicle. That is the final part of the lengthening procedure. Then we will fix the ovaries in the lateral peritoneum, parietal peritoneum. You can clearly identify now the infundibulum pelvic pedicle has been lengthened enough. Now the next part of the procedure is to make a window in the lateral parietal peritoneum. So we are trying to make a window in the lateral pelvic peritoneum. That's our psoas major muscle. Giving traction on the peritoneum on the left hand, and with the right hand with the bipolar shearer, and now with the ligature device we are making the cut in the parietal peritoneum, so that in that space we will keep our ovaries and that will be fixed. Now you can identify an adequate space has been made. Furthermore, creation of the space. I think we need some more space, that's why we are creating more space. Yes, now we are holding the ovaries and putting it back in the space that we have just created. Yes, the next part is we have to fix it with a stitch here. So now you can clearly identify the ovary. If we fix it here, it will be above the pelvic brim, so it will be out of the field of my radiation. So the purpose of the OT will be served. Here we are using 10 Vicryl to fix the ovary with the wall. A firm bite should be taken into the ovaries, otherwise the ovary will slip and the function of the OT will be lost. Then a bite is taken in the parietal wall. Now I have to fix this. We are using our Maryland device on the left hand here for the suturing purpose. One can use both needle holder, one tooth and non-tooth, but in this case we are using one Maryland and one needle holder. Now you can clearly identify that the ovary is fixed to the lateral wall. The sutures has been cut. So on the right side the transposition is finished. Here the final cut of the sutures you can see. On the left side also the transposition has been done, but that is not shown in this video. Usually we used to put a clip on the ovaries so that during the radiation field planning or radiation oncologist can identify the ovary, and the ovary will be kept out of the radiation field. That will serve the purpose of this OT. Thank you all for watching this video.